video I made about how Medicaid being cut is going to affect people who don't have Medicaid, and they think it's not going to. And I went in to list all the reasons, and I'm going to give an example of what it was like during COVID, because I feel like it's going to be very similar and it's already happening. I worked at a psych hospital during the pandemic in Philadelphia, and I worked in a hospital, and they have a psych emergency room. So it's literally like the emergency room, but it's just for people with mental health reasons, if you're there for a crisis, and also for substance abuse. So there was a hospital that closed down in Philadelphia. Their psych emergency room closed down. So their patients who were in a crisis had to go to other hospitals, but we're already full with our patients. So on top of having our patients from our part of the city, we are now getting patients from other parts of the city because that psych hospital was closed and they had to go somewhere. So because there was nowhere to send these people, the psych ER was getting fuller and fuller and fuller. And to get to the psych ER, you usually have to be seen in the ER, and then they send you down. So if you're thinking, hey, I don't have mental health reasons, this won't affect me, think again. If you go for a physical problem to the ER, but say there's too many psych patients and they're in the ER, you now have to wait. So your care is going to get delayed. A lot of care is going to get delayed. And we're full in the psych ER. We're understaffed. They're not giving us more staff. So, right, we're understaffed. Guess what happened during COVID when patients were being brought in, whether against their will or voluntarily, and they need to get care, but there's nowhere to send them, and you're stuck in a room with no light, you're getting turkey sandwiches, cereal, you have none of your belongings. What do you think happens? Violence went up. Healthcare staff was being attacked so bad, and patients were attacking each other. Not only that, but getting them care took significantly longer. They were there for days and days and days. Some people were there for a week longer because there was nowhere to send them. And, right, so if you're there involuntarily and you have to go into the hospital, but say you've used up all your days that Medicaid will pay for, you still have to get treatment. Legally, the doctor said you need to be involuntarily committed, so you need treatment. So then they would stay in our hospital when a bed opened up, whenever that was. Then our hospital would eat that cost because they're not getting reimbursed by Medicaid. So imagine on a larger scale, how is the hospital going to sustain that if these people are there? And again, because a lot of people had to keep coming to the ER because also they couldn't get in with their psych provider. So if you can't get in with your psych provider in the community, then you have to go to the ER because you're decompensating. So it's like, it's a trickle down effect. And this isn't me projecting, this literally happened already during the pandemic.